Reading is not productive, at least not in the ways you might expect. I've been reading this article in The Atlantic titled Reading is a Vice, and in it, Adam Kirsch points out that by some modern standards, reading can seem technically an unproductive activity. Of course, Kirsch is trying to say that we should present reading as a vice-like activity to encourage more young people to do it, but I think it's still an interesting point he's making about reading and productivity. Many share an anxiety of making their reading count. I think it's common to feel some sort of pressure to remember everything that you've ever read. Even if you read 1,000 books a year, for example, we can only read about 5,000 in a reasonable lifetime. So we have to read the right ones, whatever that means. There seems to be just a lot of pressure to read right, and to make sure that we make the books and the time we spend reading them count. But did you know that reading was not always seen as a productive or even good thing to do? In Harry Potter, for instance, Hermione is presented as bookish, but also awkward. In Madame Bovary, which Kirsch cites, reading is not necessarily a very positive influence. And in Louisa May Alcott's Little Women, Jo is presented as, in mine and in many's opinion, one of the most interesting characters in that book, but also slightly unusual and a big reader and writer. Then we have things like Penny Dreadfuls, where fast fiction was considered essentially a waste of time. As a PhD student, reading is often my main job, so I also feel this pressure to read productively and to retain most of what I've read. Honestly, I'm the one to talk. This is my reading list at the moment. Now, some of these books are kind of work, like Shakespeare and all the Roman history-related books, so even if I enjoy reading them, I have to make sure I remember at least most of what I read. But I still think it's really important to read for pleasure in a low-pressure environment, so I'm trying to read the rest of these books, kind of just purely for my enjoyment. So I'm curious, what do you think of reading? How does it fit into your life? Is it pure fun, like watching Netflix? Or should there always be some sort of productivity angle to it?